Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. This is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries. It is August the 25th, Friday night. The Sabbath has begun. And Hurricane Harvey is pounding Texas. I believe there's a prophetic message in Hurricane Harvey. As Yah's word said in Jeremiah 23:29, "Is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces." The name Harvey, it actually comes from two Old English words. One means iron, the other means blazing. Blazing iron. And of course we know from Psalm 2 that when Yahshua returns, he will rule from Jerusalem with a rod of iron. This Category 4 hurricane is slamming up against Texas right on Friday night as the Sabbath begins. And the initial trajectories anyway had it heading directly toward Corpus Christi, which means body of Messiah. This is a storm. Blazing iron, a storm sent by Yah onto the body of Messiah. Why would he do that? Why would he send a storm onto the body of Messiah? Right as Erev Shabbat begins. This is a shout out to many who claim to be believers, and you're not keeping the Sabbath day. You're not keeping the Torah, the commandments. You say you love the Messiah, but you don't walk in his word. You don't guard his commandments. And so a storm is coming. A storm is coming because those commandments have not been kept. There were so many times I heard in the newscasts in the last couple of days how they said, guys, you got to prepare. You got to get prepared, get moving, get prepared, get prepared. And I kept thinking, wow, get prepared. Because this storm's coming on Friday night. It's coming right as the Sabbath begins. Right as the seventh day Shabbat begins. As if Yahshua was crying out to the body of Messiah, saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, and keep my commandments. Obey my word. Keep the Sabbath day holy. That means to rest from Friday night to Saturday night. You don't buy or sell. You don't work, pursue your own pleasures. You honor and sanctify that day. You keep his commandments. You walk in his ways. A storm is coming upon the body of Messiah because we're entering into the last days. We read this all through the book of Revelation, how the beast makes war against the saints. A war is coming and a storm is coming. Are you ready to stand for the Messiah? Are you ready to stand? Because the only way you're going to be able to stand is if you're rooted in his word. And I'm not talking about just reading his word. I'm talking about obeying his word. Folks, we're not going to get whisked out of here. There is that promise of Philadelphia, I acknowledge, where Yahshua says, pray that you be accounted worthy to escape all these things. But in order to be part of Philadelphia, you've got to have the key of David. And the key of David was a man after Yah's own heart. David cried out in the Psalms and said, your Torah, your word is pure as gold and sweet as honey. And unless your life reflects that, then you're missing it. Unless you truly treat his word as gold and as honey, you're missing it. And so Yahshua is sending a message loud and clear. He is telling the body of Messiah to wake up because a storm is coming. It's going to be worse, unlike anything you've ever seen. Brother will betray brother. Christian will betray Christian as the beast begins to rule. Turn to him. Turn to him. This is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries. Website spiritandtorah.com. Shabbat Shalom.